So in this section, we're going to talk about the boilerplate approach, i.e. what is the overall approach that we should take in terms of our steps, in terms of our thinking when we talk about digital transformation, i.e. taking applications which are at the moment legacy application on a data center, on a mainframe that needs to go to the cloud. So what is the best approach that one should follow? So what I'm going to show you here is something that I have learned doing many digital transformation initiatives as a Scrum Master, as a project manager, as an Agile project manager. So all these different roles apply and they all mean the same thing. So the first thing we need to do is list the applications that are legacy applications on a mainframe that needs to be migrated to the cloud. And at the moment, we're not talking about which cloud, we're just saying a cloud. It could be Microsoft Azure, it could be Google Cloud, it could be Amazon. At the moment, we'll just call it cloud. So how does one identify applications that are good candidates for the cloud? And for that, we need to select a handful of them. From my experience, if an application is simple, easy, then that's the one we should take. Why? Because the team doesn't know what is necessary, what are the steps, and they're doing it for the first time. Everybody's doing it for the first time. And the last thing you want to do is do a complicated application and that it is critical, i.e. the SLA say they can't be down for more than say 3 minutes or 5 minutes, and you have just spent a couple of weeks or months trying to take that to the cloud and something goes wrong. You don't want to be in a situation how to support that. So the best thing to do is look at the applications and try to identify a simple application that is the first candidate that the team should take through and understand what are the processes and the steps needed. So then they get comfortable and then we understand the process as well. So that's one of the tips I would recommend, is that if possible, try to take a simple application. What you might find is that the organization will put a pressure and say, no, take the most valuable, the one that has the most revenue, take that one. That is always there, but the pressure is high for the team and the application to succeed. So for the sake of stability, for more confidence in the team, it's best to take a simple application first as the first candidate. So once you got the application or list of applications, you want to apply some kind of criteria. You need some people who know the application so well. You need to have them around the table, and as many people around the table as possible, that you can ask questions and say, hey, tell me a little bit about this application. What are the inputs to this application? What are the outputs of this application? Who feeds into the application with some data, and what does this application do with that data, and then what does the application do after that? Which application or process needs to know that? Is it a report sent to client, etc.? So that will give you the ways of the application and what are the connectivities that you need to consider. Remember, taking that application from where it is today, which is on the mainframe in a data center, which is a trusted data center, you're going to move that piece of application to the cloud, which is non-trusted center, i.e. is a public cloud. And we'll talk about the difference between a public cloud and a private cloud. But I'm assuming we're going to go to public cloud because that's what most digital transformation, the initiatives are all about, because the private clouds it takes more money, it's more expensive. So before you take that application to the cloud, you need to ask some questions. And the one thing that needs to be taken into consideration is the flow of data from that application and to that application. So once you apply that assessment, the kind of criteria for that application, you realize that it has passed, it is a good candidate. But then you're going to need to categorize that, is this application pretty simple? It's a calculator, it's a simple hello world application, whatever it is. You need to categorize it. Simple, i.e. not much work, it's pretty much lift and shift. Take it from here, take it to the cloud. Medium means it's the same as the simple, but you have to do some refactoring, you have to do some tweaks to make it work. And complex means it is pretty difficult. We may almost end up writing it into a new language, cloud native language. So the complex one is the one that's probably worth a lot of revenue for the organization. That's why it's complex, and therefore that's one you're going to get asked to do first. But my recommendation is that stick to the simple one first, simple medium one, and try to do that as first or second application before you take on a complex application. That's my recommendation. But the complex one is the one that has more kind of a connectivity and more handshakes with other applications. So once you got that categorization, simple, medium, complex, then you need to put a plan together. Sometimes the team is capable of doing the migration or the transformation to the cloud. Sometimes you might need a third party to help you with that. There are organizations who are really, really good at converting the applications from the data centers or legacy applications and moving them into cloud native languages or on the cloud. So if the applications can be done internally by the team, then that's a great idea. Or the organization has hired the talent to do that, that's a great idea. But the worst case scenario, if you don't have the talent, the skill set, then you can have a third party who are really good at doing this kind of work, and they will help the organization taking the application, legacy application, to the cloud. And meanwhile, as that takes place, the organization can also have their own team kind of trained, coached in that process as well. That's also another technique that is applied. So the boilerplate approach would be, you would get the list of applications first, and you will try to identify which of them are good cloud candidates. To do that, you are going to apply some kind of a criteria, and for the criteria to be defined, you need some good subject matter experts who knows those applications inside out. So they will give you all the tips and techniques about how the application behaves in a data center today, so that you can understand the complexity when that application goes to cloud. Once you apply that criteria, you want to categorize it. Is this a simple change? Is this a medium change? Will this be a complete rewrite? It's a complex one. So once you got that categorization, then you want to plan for that. And that planning could be, you're going to take in the first sprint or second or couple of sprints, whatever. The planning is all about how you're going to take all those selected applications as cloud candidates, how you're going to move them to the cloud. And that planning would give some kind of idea as to the organization as how long it would take. That's why I have recommended that in this whole boilerplate approach, you take the simple applications, one or two first, and let the team get their teeth into it, understand how it works before you take on the complex ones. So remember, this is the kind of a boilerplate approach, a cookie cutter approach. If you stick to this, you will have a good chance of being successful in your digital transformation.